Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. I never lose, I either win or learn. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity, it is an act of justice. We owe our children, the most vulnerable citizens in any society, a life free from violence and fear. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. A good head and good heart are always a formidable combination, but when you add to that a literate tongue or pen, then you have something very special. You will achieve more in this world through acts of mercy than you will through acts of retribution. Nothing is black or white. When the water starts boiling, it is foolish to turn off the heat. Fools multiply when wise men are silent. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. Money won't create success, the freedom to make it will. There is no such thing as part freedom. It always seems impossible until it's done. Resentment is like drinking poison, and then hoping it will kill your enemies. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's inspiring others to move beyond it. Live life as though nobody is watching, and express yourself as though everyone is listening. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. We must use time creatively, and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. No single person can liberate a country. You can only liberate a country if you act as a collective. Everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. Let your courage rise with danger. Difficulties break some men, but make others. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. Appearances matter, and remember to smile. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. It is not where you start, but how high you aim that matters for success. The brave man is not the one who has no fears. He is the one who triumphs over his fears. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. Success in politics demands that you must take your people into confidence about your views and state them very clearly, very politely, very calmly, but nevertheless, state them openly. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace. As a leader, one must sometimes take actions that are unpopular or whose results will not be known for years to come. It was a useful reminder that all men, even the most seemingly cold-blooded, have a core of decency, and that if their heart is touched, they're capable of changing. If I had my time over, I would do the same again. So would any man who dares call himself a man. It is in your hands to make a better world for all who live in it. I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. In my country, we go to prison first and then become president. I am not an optimist, but a great believer of hope. I am the master of my fate and the captain of my destiny. Peace is the greatest weapon for development that any person can have. I could not imagine that the future I was walking toward could compare in any way to the past that I was leaving behind. Only free men can negotiate. Prisoners can't enter into contracts. We forgive but not forget. I realized that they could take everything from me except my mind and my heart. They could not take those things. Those things I still had control over, and I decided not to give them away. I have taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom come responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not ended. I hate race discrimination most intensely, and in all its manifestations. I have fought it all during my life. I fight it now, and will do so until the end of my days. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. Those who conduct themselves with morality, integrity, and consistency need not fear the forces of inhumanity and cruelty. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. Losing a sense of time is an easy way to lose one's grip, and even one's sanity. There are times when a leader must move out ahead of the flock, go off in a new direction, confident that he is leading his people the right way. Lead from the back and let others believe they are in front. As I have said, the first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. Great peacemakers are all people of integrity, of honesty, but humility. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. Where you stand depends on where you sit. One of the things I learned when I was negotiating was that until I changed myself, I could not change others. One cannot be prepared for something while secretly believing it will not happen. We know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Know your enemy and learn about his favorite sport. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. It is music and dancing that make me at peace with the world.